Have you heard of Rose Technics? If not, or if you have, stick around. We're going to talk about it. Star City 5 Pro from Rose Technics. This is the box that it came in. Nice little emblem, or I should say the cover. So let's get into some of the price aspects of this. It is around $70. I think its original price is like $120. You can find it on AliExpress. You can find it on Rose Technics site. I'm going to do some links. Could not find it on Amazon. This was sent to me by Rose Technics. All thoughts and opinions of mine. They didn't tell me to say anything otherwise. So I'm just giving my honest opinion here. Its sensitivity is 104 dB at 1 milliwatt. It is one dynamic driver, 2 balanced armatures, less than 1% THT. It is 24 ohm impedance. The pin types are MMCX. They weigh about 28 grams. These are coming out of China, and like most Chi-Fi items. And you do get, for $70, you do get a pretty good kind of box experience, I say, with the exception that I literally almost had to cut this sleeve off this box. It is such a tight fit, it'll never go back on. And manufacturers need to stop doing this. You need to be able to get your sleeve out really easy. I was to the point of ripping or cutting it off at a risk of damaging, review products, which isn't good when you're trying to do a video of something. But it was that bad. It took everything I had to get these two separated. But that shouldn't discourage you from purchasing this. Inside the box, I'll pop up a video or an image. But this is kind of what I put back. You get a nice little, unique. You get a nice little, seems like a Mylar sheet here. Pretty cool. Not something you see with all IEMs. So pretty cool what they're trying to do. New brand, new everything coming out. IEM sit here, as you can see in the picture. You do get a nice little case. You see here, you do get ear tips, and you do get an actual dongle deck. So dongle deck works, had no problem. If you don't have your Apple or whatever dongle you're using, this works fine. This is USB-C though, so I use mine from the computer. These are they come in the package, didn't realize it until later, but these are the small bore. These do have a pretty big bore. I didn't realize that there were more, and I should have looked. That was my fault. So you do get a little crack bag package down in here of kind of the ear tips, but down below in here, you actually do also get more tips, and these are the wide bore. So I should have checked these first before struggling through getting some of these small bores on this large bore. So let's put this back right. Let's get this out of the way. So the IEMs themselves, that's what you're here to learn about from my experience. So you do have MMCX, so these do rotate. One of them snapped in really easy. You could hear the snap. The other one, I had to do it twice. I think nowadays, MMCX is used on some very high-end IEMs, not traditionally used in lower cost things. There's a lot to do with this connection. Can be problematic, so I wish it would have been 2-pin. Overall, in general, this size is extremely small. I'm not sure I'm going to get a focus there. But these things are tiny. So these would be small, extra small in size. I do have the Truth Ear Nova here to put it up as an example. So yeah, this would be on the larger side, and this is on the minimalist side. So really, really small IEM. See the cable, it's just now a mess, is a braided cloth cable, and there's nothing wrong with that. They do claim in their marketing literature, which a lot of companies do, is that they're using some new technology or some new cable wire. I'll try to see if I can. I believe they claim it's, you know, single crystal copper cable, a cable within a cable in that, so it's not wound, just a cable within a cable, if that makes sense. They do focus a lot of their marketing literature on the technology inside here, and especially the damping. I try to pop a picture up here that shows it, but there's just a bunch of little areas where they have passive damping. There's like a moving iron piece and a bunch of little widgets, I guess, best way of putting it, to put this all together. So the shell is plastic. You do get metal here. I believe this is metal. It's hard to tell. And it is vented. So what everyone's here, they want to know, how does this thing sound, right? So how does it sound? Well, it's good that it's not neutral. In my mind, it reminds me of an IEM that was manufactured 3 years ago, and that's not a bad thing. Just saying that it seems like the whole industry has gone to this harmonish tuning, and there are benefits to doing that. And this reminds me of more of an old school approach to IEM design. I could not find an individual who has done squiggly lines or frequency response. If you're new to this, I don't do that. And getting this one actually made me want to measure IEMs, because I could not find a frequency response independent of what Rose Technics claims the sound signature is of this. And I'll try to pop it in here, that it's a very unique kind of sound that they've gone for here. So in the deep, low sub bass, doesn't seem to be, I mean, there's plenty there, but it rolls off. So if you're into rap and that and getting a deep 808, I was listening to a Snoop Dogg kind of new mix with some singer. It just didn't have that super low rumble. And there's plenty of rumble, don't get me wrong, because this thing has plenty of bass, maybe too much bass. And it just, it fulfills everything in that lower bass. But again, you do notice a little bit of a roll off when you compare it to other IEMs. What's unique about this is that the bass shelf extends a little to about 300 hertz, and in doing that, it gives you this overly warm sound. And this overly warm sound does allow a little bit of the bass to bleed in, and it fills in a lot of instruments in those lower regions. They feel really full and voluptuous. I don't know how to put it in any other better way. There's no peakiness whatever to this IEM. I want to point that out. So it's just very full sounding, very V-shaped, warm, without a lot of treble. And as we move along in the frequency response, what you're going to notice is there's nothing offensive. I do think the peanut gain peak, or the peanut gain itself, starts too early. I mean, vocals sound great, both male, female. They're clearly in the middle. They're clearly part of this mix, but I think it started a little bit too early. It's not a problem. Peak at all, but this is at 4K. And after about 5K, it starts dipping down. So you have very light treble. I mean, you're still going to get this treble thing. You're going to get a feeling, but in overall, it's a very warm, lush kind of sound. And that's why it reminds me of 3 years ago or 5 years ago. It's just this, I'm turning on my old vintage Pioneer receiver, turning it on, and get this warm, lush feeling sound. It's effortless, it's smooth. You just want to sit back, relax, and drink a beverage of your choice and just enjoy it. These are not about listening to the music and trying to understand every technical nuance, because you don't have that much treble to give you air. The sound stage is very closed in because of the frequency response. So you are going to get some layering and separation with instruments, how they've done kind of that 400 to to 5K difference. You will get strings, but it's not going to give you that harmonish things where strings sound really far outside your head, and all the layering. So the layering's there, but it's still within your head. It's not congested in any way. You could hear everything. You're just not going to get like bass guitars. You're not going to feel the strums of that. If you're a Korn fan and it's there, you hear it, but it's not the focus. And it's such a departure from what we've been hearing for the past 2 years with harmonish tuned IEMs. It's kind of refreshing to have something that is smooth, balanced, warm, and just fun to listen to. And you kind of lose sight of, oh, I want to hear this string. I want to listen to Down in the Hole by Alice in Chains and hear all these string elements and the vocals and, how etched is their voice. You're not getting that. You're just going to get a smooth presentation. You're going to get the information delivered to you. It's just not going to be in an overly etched way that we're used to today. And so it's a unique sound signature and something different. For $70, is it worth it? I think so in my book. It's worth to have something like this. It kind of reminds you of, for me, it reminds me of, again, turning on my vintage receiver and listening. It's fun. It's good. So, at the end of the day, the whole Rose Technics coming out, I think they did something good. I think they have something to build on here. Now they have where they're going to go with this. Are they going to keep this kind of sound signature? Are they going to go more neutral, more harmonish? Only time will see. But for me, it gets my vote of approval for the first IEM that I've heard from a company that just came on board recently. So thumbs up, good job, Rose Technics, appreciate it. Peace. Don't forget to like and subscribe.